When I'm not lying about how, oh, they must have accidentally sent me to the wrong theater and I ended up watching Barbie instead of Oppenheimer, I like to answer questions and comments that I get on YouTube, so let's get to it. And please teach how you strum. You always strum while muting and it sounds so cool. I love what you're doing. Please do a strumming tutorial. Thank you for the compliment. Yeah, I definitely think that there's a lot of value to be taken just from different types of strumming patterns. And then I guess, I kind of have, a style that I always gravitate to. But basically, if you've never heard my playing before, it's kind of like, I feel the gist of it is like... So a lot of it is like, a combination of muting and selective string hitting. So this is just going to be a lesson on how to strum and kind of add a little bit of excitement. It's something that, almost the entirety of my performance career has been either solo acoustic or as part of an acoustic duo. So there's a lot of kind of just keeping the time with my right hand. So I think that's the first thing that we're going to talk about is just maybe, percussive-ish strumming. So we're just going to mute all 6 strings at first, right? And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do something in a waltz time signature, so 3/4. I think there's just so much of everything I write is in 3/4. If you don't play in 3/4 a lot, I think that's actually the best time signature to kind of get like a groove going on just acoustic guitar. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3. And 1, 2, 3. So you can kind of see here. I'm breaking this up into like different sections. 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, 3. Okay, so if we have just 3 counts, that first count is just going to be the lower part of the string. All right, so 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, 3. Some people would even call this 6. If you want to call it 6, that's fine. But basically, it all starts with that downbeat. You got to get that downbeat on the low part of the guitar, right? 1, 2, and then now the 2 and is going to be a down and an up. A little bit more into the body of it, right? 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, 3. So, okay, 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, 3. Now, this is just a good exercise to just start doing strumming like this, and then it'll bleed into all sorts of other types of playing, right? So I'm just gonna actually add the chord now, where it's like a open E major 7 type chord. So open on the E string, 7 on the A string, 6 on the D string, and then 8 on the G string. And then if you want to get the open B and E, that's cool too, right? Beautiful chord. So you can kind of see right here, 1, 2, and 3, and I'm kind of just getting maybe the 2 and the and of 2 are just aiming for the A and the D strings. And then the 3 and the and of 3 is aiming for maybe a little higher, maybe the D and the G strings. It doesn't have to be as selective as this. It's just kind of the action of maybe working your way through the strings, okay? So, and eventually you'll get more accurate over time, but it's just the intention of separating the strings into just maybe like little target areas you can take. And then you'll notice as I'm working my way down, 1, 2, and 3, and that top is going to be the next downbeat. 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, 3. And then now I'm working my way back up. Okay, so it's a back and forth type thing. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm just getting a root note and then the high end of the chord, okay? So that's the vibe, and we're gonna fill in the space in between. 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, and 3, and then maybe move that chord 2 frets back. And then maybe on that second bar, see how I'm working my way back? 1, 2, and 3, and. So it's really just kind of going back and forth. And then the next trick that I want you to focus on, whatever chords, you can just be playing A minor if you want, is really being able to dynamically play this, okay? Because so much of like modern music is the same chords being played over and over again, especially pop music. So if you're doing performances, with like cover performances or even just like your own music, it's good to be able to dynamically bring it up and down within different parts. So that's where the muting comes in, right? Which is a lot of the spirit of this question. See, this is the same pattern, but now I've got my palm or the side of my hand really just up against the bridge pins almost. And then I can even, you know, also in combination with choking the chord, instead of going to the high end, maybe I'm just kind of focusing on the low part of the strings. And then if I want to open it up, I can either keep my hand where it is and then go to the high part. So it's still kind of like half muted. And then I can go fully open. Okay, so it's a combination of selective hitting, keeping your hand just here the whole time, and then the one thing that I really want to take some time to just talk about is finding a good spot to anchor your arm so your hand doesn't go beyond this. See, like if you see the farthest that my actual wrist will go, it's like right here. I never go any farther than that. I'm never down farther because that's all just wasted movement, and then you're kind of like fighting where you are, and then you're really kind of like out on an island in time if you're strumming like that. Which, if you want to like look a little more performative, then that's the thing that you can do. But to really solidify your timing, you want to be able to keep this as tight as you can. And then that'll increase your speed. Because you don't have to worry about, you know, going back too far and up too far, right? So, again, these are all just little tricks. Another thing that I think sounds really cool is finding keys and then using capos and stuff to have the open strings help you out. So what I mean by that is like if I'm playing something A major, B major, I'm actually leaving the B and E string open. So then that's a great way to have the open strings help you out in a way that it can add volume to your playing. So maybe if you're kind of even doing that same kind of vibe with this bar chord, I'm just going the low strings and then the high strings. So, you know, you also have a dynamic between the fretted notes and the open notes. You have a dynamic between the amount of strings you're hitting and a dynamic between the amount of muting that you're doing versus unmuted, right? So there's a lot going on, but these are just, you know, different things you can keep in mind. And the more that you're cognizant of it, the better your strumming is going to become. Thank you. Finally, a very good lesson. Finally? Hi, Sean. I'm following your lessons on Patreon. Little by little, I'm making headways. Thank you for signing up for the Patreon. I really think the Patreon is a great deal. It's super inexpensive compared to like buying a lot of courses and stuff. I have well over 100 lessons on there from your first lesson to like where I'm at now, and then just my entire set list. And I'm always adding to like the set list with like different songs and stuff. In fact, I just added a lesson Paranoid Android, Radiohead, right? It's like, I think it's like one of the funnest acoustic guitar songs to play. So definitely check out the Patreon because, again, it helps me out immensely. And there's like a ton of stuff on there. And again, you can just take what you want for a month and then quit. And then, you know, you're just better. Wow, like the 12 string. First time hearing that type of sound. I play 12 string, but never heard one this nice. Thank you. This is the Emerald Amicus. I did a track last week where I kind of added this in combination with a bunch of acoustic stuff. And like, this guitar is so awesome. So, yeah, Emerald is a company in Ireland, and last September, I think I went out there and like got to tour the factory and stuff. And yeah, they sent me this incredible 12 string, which just sits in like the register of maybe like a higher part. It's like if you want something that isn't as lame as a ukulele, but you want something to kind of like take the high end and add to it, Amicus is the way to go. So they're actually doing like a 25% off sale because they've been in business for 25 years. So I'll link you to this because, you know, if you're interested in any of the Emerald guitars, they make awesome stuff too. I have a Virtuo back at my place in Florida too. If you're interested, but it's been too expensive, this is like the cheapest they've ever been. So they're doing like a, you know, a promotion. And I thought I would turn you guys onto it in case you're interested in this kind of stuff. So like super carbon fiber, super just very unique instruments, and they're beautiful, and they're friends of mine. So yeah, check it out if you guys are interested. Sean is so intimidated by Blondie's beauty that he cannot stop playing with his hair like a sophomore cheerleader making Google eyes at the varsity quarterback. Yes, entertaining, very entertaining. Of course, I'm always intimidated by Banana Blondie's beauty. It's ridiculous. Look at her. But I posted a video last week about me pitching business ideas, which I think eventually will just become the main focus of this entire channel. But a lot of great business ideas were had. So check that video out. I'll put that in the description too. But also, there's even special just for you guys, an extra business idea behind the scenes which did not make the cut. So check it out.
All right, I got another one.
Okay.
All right, so you just had a pillow sponsorship that you just did.
Barely.
Listen, I'm in the market for a good pillow.
Yeah, this is a good pillow.
But this got me thinking, like, you know how if you're a rich guy and you have like a wife who's maybe trying to kill you.
Oh yes, yeah.
Like you take a little bit of arsenic every day.
You do willingly.
To make yourself immune.
Are you
to
like building up
immunity
immunity? Got it.
Yeah. And then when she tries to poison you, you're like, ha ha.
Yeah.
Nice try. You're just sick or whatever. I don't know.
But is this a business idea?
No, it's for pillows, right?
Oh my god.
So a lot of these pillows there's a memory foam component.
I guess.
This might not be a great idea, but like, so what if, if you're envisioning your wife or husband might be the kind of person that smothers you in your sleep, right?
That's rough.
That would be rough. So what if, with these pillows, you just kind of like practice smother yourself until you build the mold of your face into the memory foam. And then when the time does come and you're getting smothered, you already have the spot there, right? So you're like, ha ha. But, you wouldn't say that. You'd act like you've been smothered.
But doesn't memory foam mean that it comes back to its original shape? Not that it stays in the smushed state.
Is that how?
I feel like you're misunderstanding how memory foam works. Am I wrong about memory foam?
I don't have
like, why would anyone want that? Like a bed made out of memory foam that you like...
You're just training the pillow, essentially.
I feel like, yeah, you could definitely find a pillow that does, or create a pillow.
So it's an anti-suffocation pillow.
An anti-suffocation pillow?
Yeah. You just train it to mold your face.
I feel like who's in charge of buying pillows in a home, though? This is an issue you're going to have. It's not the rich husband that is buying the pillows. It is the wife that is doing the pillow buying. And she will know if there's some janky memory foam, anti-memory foam pillow, and you're going to get caught. She's going to be like, what is this pillow?
What's this thing?
What is this thing?
What are you so worried about?
Yeah.
Huh.
What is this?
I don't have a good answer for that. Maybe we go to the office and try to sell them at the office. I don't know. And then they just bring it home.
I just feel like sometimes you make no sense.
You don't think this is...
Like,
you get it, right? Like you're being smothered.
Yeah.
But you can breathe perfectly.
No, I get it. I get it.
Right? You can breathe perfectly. But here's the thing. It's like you would have to still play dead.
I just
You'd have to still
feel
pretend
like you're
dead.
not really thinking this through. So if it's molded to your face, it's still right up there against your face.
Sure, but
it might be a more comfortable way to suffocate, but I think you're still going to be without air. It's not a...
There are pores. There are breathing pores.
You get a breathing tube that comes out of the pillow.
Yeah.
It's an invisible breathing tube that's built into the pillow.
No, there's a zipper, right? And you can
use your mouth to open it up.
You're already there. You're with me.
And inside is an oxygen tank.
And then you use your tongue to work the tube, and then you just breathe.
All right, that solves that.
Nice, calm and cool.
That solves
that. And then you
problem.
pretend like you've been suffocated.
And you just play dead.
And then your wife or husband or mistress, whoever, then they're like, finished the job. And then
they're just going to leave your body there.
I don't know. What happens when they're done?
I don't know.
They probably go and
I've never killed anyone.
Rub their mascara around and call the police.
Yeah.
All the while, you still lay there. And then when the cops show up, that's when the ruse is done. You're like, she did it! Because the cops are already there. Because here's the thing. If you confront a murderous spouse, right after they try to murder you, they're just going to try again right away. You got to wait for the cops to show up. I was thinking.
I mean, is this really that common of a problem?
I think about this all the time.
If you had a rich wife, you would murder her? Is that what you think about?
No.
Or are you the rich husband that's getting murdered?
I'm always the rich husband that's getting murdered. Thank you. From these ideas, I've become so rich.
Clearly.
Uh-huh.
He's successful.
Very, right?
Business.
There we go. So maybe that's not a good idea, but it's something I thought of.
I mean, I think there's something there.
Yeah?
I think there's something
You're not just
there.
saying that?
I'm just saying that.
Yeah, I kind of figured you were just saying that.
Hottest 3 days preceded by some of the best mild weather in the history of the last 6 months. Cults come in all forms. Climate change fearmonger is just another one to be added to the list of cultish buffoonery.
I love how, like, I'm in a cult because I had a gig that was canceled by, like, a heat wave. I think people who watch the channel know that I never do anything political on this, but it's funny that, like, I had a show canceled because it was so hot, and I'm like, yeah, sorry, show got canceled. We're gonna do this demo inside on the Bose system that I did a few weeks ago. And then a couple of the comments were like, oh, it was hot, huh? Well, you weren't saying it was hot 6 months ago. I'm like, well, yeah, cause it wasn't. And it's like, I'm sorry. It's like, oh, it's been this hot before. You're in a cult because it's hot. It's like, no, it's like, it's actually just like it's really hot. I'm sorry. All right, listening homework, I'm going to throw you to a band called Sure Sure. Really cool cover that I just discovered on YouTube this week. So check that out. If you have any questions, hit me up in the comment section, Instagram, the website, and I will talk to you guys soon. Thanks for watching.